When I was very young, I was very sort of Christian, and then in my adolescent years, I sort of didn't believe that there was a God. In my late teens, I started to have experiences, just interesting synchronicities, and that made me start to think. I started meditating to develop my potential as a human being, and that then brought in a spiritual aspect. I've always been drawn to Buddhism, to paganism, and then recently I've just come to realize that it's all just belief. We just attach belief to different symbols. We attach belief to different books or traditions, and the essence of God, Goddess, is in everything, and it's accessible in every moment. It's not about a particular ritual or practice. The universe is a constant process of creation, and us as human beings are reflections of that macrocosm of the universe or God, Goddess. So for us as humans, it's essential to also be creative and to express ourselves in an external way. It also brings great satisfaction because one can actually see a result of one's own inner process in a very physical manner. I've done a lot of work in astrology. That's where my process started. And then the breathwork and Reiki was where I started working as a practitioner. Now I use a multidimensional breathwork technique, which is a technique I developed using open eye sort of breathwork. So just close your eyes now. Take a long deep breath to start. Now open your eyes and look at the partner opposite you. Just be aware of your breath, deep and full. It's basically a half-hour session with a preparation of about an hour discussion and so forth. But the breathwork itself is just open-eye breathing on 4 different levels: earth, water, air, fire, and then seeing through the eyes of the soul, basically. And that is what causes the big healing process. The body or the unconscious mind always knows what the individual needs. And I think that's the beauty of breathwork, is that despite the fact that the client might think they want to work with, say, childhood issues, the body will bring up, no, there's actually something else that needs to be dealt with. So you might find in the last week that there have been a few ups and downs, and that's quite a natural part of the whole process, because abundance deals with self-worth. So when you're dealing with self-worth, it throws up anything that's contrary to self-worth. The abundance game, it's basically an experiential game to shift the way one sees abundance. Abundance being self-worth and access to resources. So be that love, be that money, be that laughter, be it joy, be it creativity, abundance is living the full richness of life.
Ever since this process has started, I've been going from strength to strength to strength, but I am aware that life and nature has cycles of ups and downs. But I'm not going to hold out and, sort of manifest the bad thing. I'm just going to enjoy the good things for as long as possible.
Okay, thanks, Bruce. The process is basically a group process, and it's structured over 21 days. And there's daily exercises that one needs to do to actually have an experience of living abundantly. So it's actually changing what the unconscious mind understands as abundance. And then the visualization CD is a backup for that process. And then obviously the group interaction is where the big learning takes place, because we see the shifts that each person makes from week to week. And now physically step up into that reality and feel it as if it's already existing.
Initially it was just like an experiment. I mean, there's nothing to lose. Let's play a game, let's see where it goes. And then things started going right. And I think the challenge for all of us with abundance is just allowing yourself to accept it and know that you deserve it, because we do. We all do.
Okay. You got the Fool, Emperor, Element card. I run a beginner's tarot group and an advanced group. Each process is 6 weeks, and in the beginner's course we cover the basic metaphysics of tarot, numerology, astrology, and understanding archetypes in day-to-day life, symbolism, as well as working with a practical understanding of the cards. Because usually people have stage fright when they are asked to read, so we do a lot of reading practice during the course. There's something coming out of this momentum knife. The advanced course includes things like alchemy, Kabbalah, a deeper understanding of the tarot, and also understanding the major arcana in a different order, because there are different orders that tell different stories, which also then subtly change the meanings of the cards. Okay, so it definitely looks like developments in your relationships. It is important that you sort of break through a few old habits and take some risks. For me, it's a very neat and beautiful map of the universe, and one could say God or Goddess. And what is amazing about the tarot is you can never exhaust the energy that is in there. You'll always learn new things if you approach it correctly. I wrote the building blocks of tarot as a comprehensive guide. And I break tarot down into keywords for numbers, keywords for elements, and then you combine those different keywords basically through that simple process. And by understanding the metaphysical principles of each keyword, you can then very quickly get an understanding of the cards. The pilgrimage to Santiago de Compostela has become a very important part of my work. I take a group over every year. It's a facilitated group, but the walking itself is personal for each individual, yet every day we've got certain processes that we do. And the reason why it's become so important is because my first pilgrimage experience was incredible. It totally changed my life. It makes you look at life and understand life in a completely different way. It's a true experience of freedom, actually. My passion has been spirituality and healing and therapy, and obviously age is a tempering process and it does bring the wisdom.